Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today what we're going to do is try to put a camera and VTX on this little bitty helicopter so we can fly it FPV with our goggles. So let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back. Appreciate you staying tuned in. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is pick out a camera and VTX combination. What I've done is opted not to use a all-in-one camera, only because the antenna on most of these, some have a whip antenna, which would actually be a worse situation. Trying to mount this and keeping it from the rotors hitting it, it'd be very far up front. I'm not sure if I want to do that. So what I've opted to do is to actually do a standalone camera and VTX, which actually this little combination weighs less than this all-in-one combination. So we're going to go with this. I've got it hooked up. I want to check it to be sure everything works and figure out what channel it's on before I put it in and go to all the trouble and find out something doesn't work, because all of this came out of my spare parts bin. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and plug my monitor in, and just so you know, I've already done a channel scan on this, but let's be sure which way the camera is actually oriented. There we go, we got a picture. And one thing you want to know, guys, is if you have a camera that doesn't actually say which way is up, you definitely want to know which way is up before you install it. And in this case, my wires are to the bottom side and the picture is oriented correctly. So I know which way I have to put the camera in. Everything's working. It's all working off a single cell Lipo, which is what I'm going to run off of this helicopter. And so now all I need to do is put it in, now that I know everything works. Okay guys, let me show you what we've done so far. What I've done is I've cut a little slit right here in front of the canopy where I want to mount the camera. I just used my soldering iron. It was the easiest thing to do, and it just made a little groove here. And I've also put a little 3-prong connector on the camera. The reason being is because once I have these wires ran through the canopy, then if I didn't have the connector, I wouldn't have a way to get the canopy back off, because the camera would be kind of locking it in. So I've decided to put that little connector on there, so now I can just unplug it from the back of the helicopter, and if I have to pull the canopy off, I can just pull it off with the camera and everything. So all I'm going to do at this point is put a little bit of hot glue on each side, give it just maybe a little bit of up tilt. I don't plan on going very fast, and we'll move on to the VTX next. Okay guys, as you can see, I got everything together here. We had a few problems at first. What I was doing initially was powering the VTX and the camera straight off the Lipo. I found out real quick that would not work. As soon as the helicopter powered up and the rotor started turning, it would sag it just enough where the camera would cut out. So I had to make a few changes. What I decided to do is I used this Eachine VTX03 instead of the other one that I was using. This actually has a 5-volt BEC built in for the camera, and I changed the camera to a Runcam Nano 3, which just has a little bit better picture. I am using these RDQ 300 milliamp 1S batteries. It's the same battery that fits your little Mobula 6 here, and it fits perfectly in the little battery bay that's built in for this. So everything else looks good. I'm going to check this one more time to make sure my video still looks good. I'll plug my monitor in and plug the helicopter in, and there we go. We do have video. Everything else looks good. So the next thing to do is take it outside and see if I can fly it in FPV. So wish me luck.